If you found yourself here, it's probably because you have a strange and wonderful mind. Let me reassure you, you are in the right place. My name is Sarah, and this is Sarah After Dark. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Elmwood House experience. Now, it's located in Hartburn in Stockton-on-Tees, and it's known as the Elmwood Community Centre. This place has developed a reputation and put Stockton-on-Tees in light for the paranormal. And of course, there is a reason why I'm talking about the place. I think there's so many hotspots around the northeast that are not spoken about enough. Secondly, I will be spending a full night locked in, conducting a paranormal investigation here on the 26th of April. I am absolutely ecstatic, actually. I can't wait for this. So let's delve into the history and the ghostly claims. Some people like to go in blind to investigations, but I personally like to know what and who we're looking for. I think it makes the experience more personal. If we get hits and confirmation whilst investigating, it's a massive win for me. But if I know what spirits are there, I know who to ask for. The Elmwood House was originally owned by the Dodgson family, which involved Lewis and Alice. You need to look at this place as a mansion because back then, that's what it was. This was a very well-to-do family. Lewis was the head of one of Stockton's biggest wholesale warehouses, and the Elmwood House itself was equipped with tennis courts, a kitchen wing, a laundry house, a carriage house, and even stables, all of which, by the way, very much still stand there today. Now, Lewis and Alice lived in the house quite happily. They enjoyed the house. They had staff, housemaids, the lot. But Lewis decided to leave Elmwood House in 1882 after Alice, unfortunately, passed away at the age of 33. He then decided to move back to his hometown, which was Scarborough. The house then stood empty for several years before the Pierce family took it on. Montjoy Pierce was a shipbuilder. He was very well known in the area. Some even called him a legend, with connections to the River Tees and Hartlepool. Now, strangely enough, there's not a lot of information online regarding the Pierce family, which is strange because of how well known he was and the impact that he had on the area. But the residence was built up with staff, again, who would assist the family with their needs. So we're talking maids, cleaners, even kitchen staff. Imagine how nice it would be to have your own kitchen staff. You don't even have to cook your own meal, you just tell them what you want. Now, Mountjoy was married and had several children, including Francis, Edward, George and Jane. They only lived in the house for 4 years until 1889, where it was then taken over by its new owners, the Spence family. Henry Spence and his son Gilbert, again involved in shipwork and well-known people of this area and of this time period. They lived in the house until 1922, where the house again would stand empty for another few years until 1926, and that is when the house was actually bought by its very last owners. And that was the Kitchen family, which included Harold Kitchen. He was a soldier and he was also an Olympic athlete. Harold actually won a bronze medal for Great Britain for rowing in the London Olympics. He was awarded many awards being a soldier, and he was also awarded an MBE. He was married to his wife Dora, and he had a son called Alfred, who sadly lost his life serving as a glider pilot. Now, this was really the last residency of Elmwood House, and that's because as World War II began, Elmwood was actually converted into a research lab, and it was converted for the chemical company known as ICI. So anyone who isn't from the Northeast, or maybe just doesn't really know a lot about the Northeast, the Northeast is well known for ICI and its chemical plants. It is so much so that it's give the locals their nicknames known as the Smoggies. Smoggies meaning all of the chemical smog and the pollution in the air. But when World War II started, it became a big worry for the Northeast because an explosion or a bomb hitting one of them chemical plants would realistically wipe out a massive area. So that's why ICI moved into the Elmwood House, because they considered it to be a safe location from their main industrial sites. And that's what happened really with the building in that time period through World War II. And that ended around 1950. The ICI had officially moved out of Elmwood House, and the building began being used for the community. It became a community building, serving as even a classroom for overcrowded schools, and eventually turning into a community centre. Even to this day, it is now addressed by the Elmwood Community Centre, and that's what it's used as. It's a place where people meet, have a coffee and a chat. It also hosts a dance school, a playgroup, and even a model railway club. But by night, everything changes. And that's because of the paranormal activity connected to this building. The Elmwood House experience, which is what it's called at night time, has literally become a paranormal hotspot, catching the attention of ghost hunters from far and wide. The most famous residential spirit is a young housemaid who had allegedly taken her own life in one of the upstairs rooms. People have actually claimed to see this female apparition moving through the building, whilst others very much just feel her presence and believe that they have actually made communication with her. Another female spirit which is heavily reported is, of course, Alice, believed to be Lewis's wife, the woman who died at 33 years old, because it was later documented and found out that Alice did in fact die inside of the Elmwood House. Now, the name Alice was brought through during a seance session with a group of paranormal investigators. Since then, she has been noted to providing some really intelligent responses, and people have since gotten the name Alice quite frequent. Now, the areas of interest in this building, and the ones that I will be paying a lot of attention to on my visit, are the Victorian cellar, a place said to hold a heavy silence and an oppressive energy. People say that when they've gone down into the cellar, the atmosphere almost instantly changes. It's very heavy, it's dark naturally. The walls are thick, creating this almost soundproof room, so any noise inside of that space is very apparent. We then have the Victorian billiards room, a large room with allegedly a lot of activity. Many have reported hearing phantom footsteps almost walking around in circles to the visitors. People have also claimed to smell strange smells in this area, with the smell of old wood and even old cigarette pipes. Most people get their biggest ghostly hits inside of this room. The next one along is the study. This is where visitors have claimed to have got that feeling like they're being watched by something which physically isn't there. Some have even reported hearing strange noises, almost like paper flicking across a book. They believe that this is the room where spirits are actually watching and observing. Now, if we go along a bit further, we come to the old stables. And this is similar to the cellar. A lot of people say that the atmosphere is very heavy. Guests have actually reported getting that feeling like they're somewhere that they're not meant to be. Almost like overstepping a boundary in a building and going into somewhere that says no entry. A lot of people have heard also strange noises inside of here. And there's been a lot of strange EVP sessions which have caught what sounds like growling and hissing. But what I'm looking forward to the most out of this whole place is going to have to be the old nursery in the dining room. Now, that's because they have converted it into a paranormal haven. It is absolutely filled with trigger objects and even haunted dolls. It's believed to be the home of a very playful energy, one that likes to interact with equipment and enjoys the sound of music and lights. So I'm going to be very mindful when we go in there, and we're going to play into that. We're going to play in and see if we can get this playful spirit to play back. There's also a doll inside of, I think it's called the dolly room, and it's called George. Now, it is believed to be, of course, haunted, and it's believed to be a very active spirit. Investigators have captured EVP sessions with this doll and have claimed that weird shadows are surrounding the area, more so towards this doll. Whether they're actually connected with the doll or just in that area, people don't know. Some have even claimed to have been hissed at when walking into this room, and I've actually read one online. This is a review from a woman. She basically said she went in, they were doing an investigation, everything was fine, and all of a sudden her chest became extremely tight to the point where she genuinely felt like she couldn't breathe. The minute she then stepped outside of the room, it just went. It just absolutely went. And I find that crazy. Now, me and Sam will be taking on this place completely on our own. We will be conducting a full night investigation and hopefully communicating with whatever lies inside this house. I'm also going to do something different, and I'm going to film some long form content for YouTube and do a full paranormal investigation that people can watch in their own time. Something I've wanted to do for a while, and I am slowly merging over to YouTube. I'll never ever stop doing TikTok lives and live streams, because I find when you're going live and doing a paranormal investigation, you guys are getting the experience firsthand the same I am. So if something happens, you're seeing it at the same time I'm seeing it, you're witnessing. And sometimes other people see things that I don't actually see. You also hear things that I don't even hear, and I find it absolutely amazing. Sometimes people will send me a timestamp, or they'll say, Sarah, at this time at 11 o'clock, there was a really loud noise, or there was a whisper. And I go back and I watch it back and I can hear it. But in that moment when I'm in the room, I didn't hear a thing, and I find it absolutely amazing. So that's what's going to be happening. I'll be doing a long form content for YouTube, but I will also be streaming live on TikTok for my followers on there. So if that's something that you're interested in, if that's something you want to watch, please do stick around. I'll be announcing it a little bit closer to the time. It will be the 26th of April. I need to figure out times and things like that, but closer to the date, I will be dropping all that information. So there will be a live stream, but anyone who can't catch the live stream, there will also be a full video for you to watch. I'm excited. This is somewhere I have heard so much about, and it's not even that far from me, and the fact I haven't done it yet is bonkers, but I've heard lots of good things. I know lots of people who have been and had really good experiences, and I think it's time for me to visit. I really do. I am going to start focusing on a lot of places in the northeast, because we have got so many hotspots up here, and I don't think they get enough attention. And we know we've got the typical haunted locations and places around that everyone has heard the name of, everyone is familiar of. But I also think sometimes a place is not really oversaturated. If you've got paranormal investigators going in every single night, if I was one of them spirits, I'd be tired. So that is the plan. There is lots coming up. There's lots more to be dropped soon as well, and I'll be keeping you guys in the loop. We've had such a busy weekend, so many people who follow me on TikTok have come over from TikTok will know we did a full night live paranormal investigation on Saturday night, and we went up to the Headlands in Hartlepool to investigate a house which dates back hundreds of years. It's got connections to the church, it's got connections to the war, it is dripping in history. I truly believe that there is something weird going on inside of that house, and I'm going to definitely return back. I think it is a very interesting place. It is a very interesting location. There is also locations outside of that location which are known for paranormal activity, so the whole area is kind of heightened. So that is going to be something I will return back to. If you are a paranormal investigator and you're interested, they are currently opening this place up so people can hire it. So if that's something that you're into, if you're looking for a new venue, or if you're looking for somewhere to go and do your very first ghost hunt, let me know. Send me an email. I can pass you over the details. It's definitely worth it. It sits over 3 floors. There is an outside, what's almost like a bunker. It's massive. This place is absolutely massive. You go onto the top floor and there's such a heaviness. The atmosphere changes the minute you get on that top floor. almost feels like everything's a little bit wonky. I felt a bit seasick, which is ironic because you are right on the seafront. However, I didn't feel like that on the first floor, didn't feel like that on the second floor, but the top floor was weird. It was really weird. We did the Estes method up there, got some really interesting answers there, some very intelligent answers. There was a very strong, like almost children presence up there. You could sort of feel that there was a playful energy. I do feel like they were holding back. I do feel like there was something maybe stopping the kids from communicating, but that's why I want to go back again and I want to try something completely different, because I do believe that this place has massive potential. I really do. So I'm looking forward to that, and you guys, I think, will be looking forward to that as well, and I'll keep you all in the loop. I've got a very busy week this week, so I will be travelling down to Stockport tomorrow. I am going for a QHHT session with Nina. I had Nina on the podcast. She is absolutely fantastic at what she does. The whole process is going to be videoed. I will also probably be doing a podcast after it at some point, and if Nina is willing and wanting, she can absolutely come back and join me, and we can discuss exactly what happened during my session. I cannot wait. This is going to be like a 6-hour hypnosis session. So God knows what's going to come out of my mouth. If you could spare a few minutes to leave the podcast a rating and a comment, it massively helps. And I appreciate every single one of yous. So yes, thank you very much, and a big good night from me. And until next time, keep being a little bit weird and even a little bit spooky.